thank you for your interest in Landtamic. Here I have a fresh installation of Landtamic. This is the welcome page you get after installing the starter kit through the command line. And here I have a few steps that are recommended after you install the starter kit. The first one is to set up the website by configuring the logo, the menu, the footer, Favicon, or Sitemap, which are located under Global's theme. And if you follow all the steps are what we meant to describe as how to get up and running as soon as possible. So here we are on our general screen. And here we have three kinds of logos: the normal one, dark, and the logo mark. The logo mark is the short version of the logo. And then you have the normal one, which is used side-wide, and then the dark version, which is used on dark backgrounds. After that, you have the menu, where you have a few options, which I'll go over right now. Here, I will open the default Landtamic installation. After you install, this is the sample page that you get. Here, it's mostly we showcase all the features and made them into a nice starter page so you can review. So now if I go here to header, I have a bunch of options. I can select the logo position to be either left or center. For now it's center, but because the menu is on center, and of course it's not gonna work. So now I'm gonna send the menu to the left, and the logo should come up to center, as you can see, and show links. So this says enable this to display links in the right side of the menu. If I disable this, this should disappear. I will click refresh, and now because there are only two items, the logo will automatically go to the right side. So if I want to change this, I just can do the menu position to the right and logo to the left, and there you go. So say I want to add a button, but I want to add the button right here next to the menu. I can do that by going to the navigation, and here on the main navigation, if I add a nav item, let's say I have a button called Buy Now, and here I can just go to Buy Now, and here I can type toggle button. If it's a brand, it can be small, medium, and if it can open a new link, I click Save, and I should get a button on the menu. There you go. So I can change the appearance of this button by making it small and secondary. And this should work now. It's small and it's secondary. If I don't want to display a button on the menu, I can remove this, save changes, go to the globals, and I can add show links, save. Now this will display another column here for the buttons. Show links can be different stuff. Here I have a button displayed, but it can be an image link, as you can see, or it can be social media. Well, with social media, it's just a collection of social media networks. Here I have a bunch of them, and I can click Save, and I should get all the social media links here. So this is concerning the menu, and here I can add more sets if are required, and the menu position. Okay, so right after the menu, we have the footer, and if I go here to the left side, I can see that the footer has, it's what is called a mega footer. We have 4-column layout here and a copywriting layout down here. Here I have a bunch of options. For example, I can disable has menu. And if I refresh, it will just display the small menu, as you can see here, without the footer menu. But I will enable this again. Here I can choose a footer menu. It can be either a new one here under navigations, as you can see, footer, and this is the footer. And if I refresh here, you can see the layout is the same. You have the title and then the links. After I select a footer menu, I can do a custom menu. I will disable this now just so you can see what the custom column means. So as you can see, the custom column is now has disappeared. If I enable it again, the custom column, here is just a replicator field for the logo, the text, and the social media icons. Here, if I rearrange this, it should reflect the order in the website. and it's only for now, it's only limited to 3 items. If I delete one of them, I should be able to add a new one. Here we have social media, and we have some text and an image, which is the logo right now. This can be anything. The span column is if you want the custom column, this one here, to take the width of 2 columns. This is particularly useful if you have, say, a menu with only 2 items and you want to span this so this goes to the end. But now, because I have another one here, I can do that. So I will just disable this and refresh, and here I'm back to normal. Logo overlay is just, this logo overlay here is just a small logo mark that can be either to the left or to the right, as you can see, or I can disable it completely and it will disappear. So I will just keep it enabled. The divider is the divider between, so it's this divider, the divider between the copyright section and the menu, the footer menu. If I want to have a logo divider, I can just click here and refresh, and here I have a logo divider. If I say want to a divider that will cover the full width of the footer, I can do that, or it can just be contained. The footer items are the last part of the footer. They can either have a logo, copywriting text, or a menu. In this case, I have the copywriting text, I have an image, as you can see, I have a menu, and have the copywriting text. If you rearrange the order, it will also reflect on the design, as you can see. But now I have the logo here aligned to the center. I just need to go here, align it to the left, and align the copyright text to the center. And here, as you can see, the logo is to the left, the copywriting text is to the center, and then we have the footer on the right. The footer menu is also taken from the footer. It can be any menu or structure that you select here. And that's all for the footer. Here we have the Favicon menu, and here is just a simple settings that you can upload your preferred icons, and here you have the size, and this will generate this part of the Favicon for every icon. This is pretty straightforward. We generated this using real Favicon generator, and here you just upload an image of 260 by 260, and it will generate all the versions possible for the Favicon. And here I have the 404 page settings. It's pretty self-explanatory. Here I can set all the title for the 404 page. I can set the description, the menu, the image position, either to the left or the right. I can toggle a button for them to go back. I can select the variant and the button size. This is useful if a page doesn't exist. It will throw this, as you can see. And here I can just do left for the image. It will go left, and the text will go right, as you can see. But I will just give it to the default, and I can just disable the button, and it would not show. And I will just enable it again, as you can see. And here we are back. I can change the size to medium, and it will reflect on the front end the same. Here we have the settings for the sitemap. It's pretty straightforward. We have a sitemap collection. In this case, we chose pages. You can select posts, and you have the change frequency, which can be weekly, monthly, yearly, and then the priority when the crawlers should crawl the website. So here, if you click save, this is all auto-generated. If you go here to /sitemap.xml, and here is everything. If you change the collection, it will also reflect here, and this is particularly useful for SEO. So Landtamic ships by default with Tailwind, which is an add-on to supercharge your SEO settings. Here you can append a title, you can prepend, you can have a meta description, you can have a social media image, which I haven't set. It can be anything. You can also display open graph tags. You can have a site name, title, and description. If you want to edit for a post or a particular page, the info, I can go here to posts. I have a tab called SEO. And here, if it says title, I can always do custom if it's needed. I can always do the meta description or a general one. I can do some custom or whatever. You can also edit the social media title, description, or the Twitter title and Twitter description, or the image that is being used as a featured image, all through here. For every post, we have already configured a view model that it's using the default image as an OG image for here. So you don't have to touch that. It will automatically use this as an OG image for your post. Now we'll talk about the collections a bit. So you have two default collections, which is pages and posts. And if I go here to post, you have two sample posts that we have all pre-configured with an article, which is a BART field with headings. You can have tags, you can have a category, or the author, which is the one that I'm logged in now. You have an image that's used as a featured image. Then here you have a bunch of sets which you can use for the article, which is an image grid with more than 4 columns, 3 or 2, and then a video. I will go to live preview so you can see everything. So here I have the title and the image. If we change this, it will reflect here. And here is the image that I've uploaded. If I go down, I have the image grid, which can be 3 columns, as you can see, or 4. I'll go back to 2. I'll go down. I have a video, which is a YouTube video, which is embedded here on the post. And here I have a bunch of random information when it was posted, by who, and on which category. Then we have the tags. We have the option to share this on social media, and we have about the author. So this part here is configured if you go to your profile, and I'll just leave this here. And here you have a name, a position, biography, and you can select your avatar. So these settings then are they're reflected here whenever you choose an author, as you can see from here. Now I would like to talk a bit about our page builder. So here I'm on my pages collection, and this is the default home or sample page that you get whenever you install Landtamic. I will go to live preview so we can see what we are doing. And I will just make this a tiny bit smaller. And here I have the title, which is the title of the page. It's used here for SEO purposes. And here I have a hero. And the hero has 7 variants. I've already filled in the text, or it's pre-filled. And here you can choose different variants depending on the style of the website. You can change the title or whatever, or if it has a description or not. Now it will remove the description. This is the hero image. And then you have the button. On the button, okay, so these buttons are a bit close to each other. And here you have a secondary button, which doesn't go well with this variant. I will probably select another variant, something with a white background probably. And here I can select a small size. We have extra large, and we have an outline, which is just a button or just white. I will just pick secondary, and I will proceed further. So here we have a logo cloud. And if I insert a title here, our partners, it will not show up on the first variant because this one doesn't support the title. You can always add one if you want on your set. But the second variant has a title, the third one, fourth, and as you can see, you can generate different versions from the same logo cloud. I'll just stick to one. And here we have a testimonial section, which again has a testimonial set, which is a replicator field where you can select the author, position, and the image. If I go to different variants, you can see it will generate different variants of the same testimonial, as you can see from here. I'll just leave it to 7. And if I go here to the plus, here you can see we have all these different sets that you can use to create a sample page. These are all, if you go to the official Landtamic website, you can actually preview all the sets here. So we have hero sections, headers, logos. So if, say, you want to see how a section was supposed to look, you can just click here on the step sections. And here you can see we have a title, and then we have some icons here that we can use, or this is the second variant, third, fourth, fifth, and go and so on. So here I will just try to create a new page just so I can show you how easy it is. I will go back and I will just create a new page, test page. I'll click save and I'll go to live preview. Okay, so here I'm on the test page, and here say I don't want to have an hero section, it's just a normal test page, and I want to add a custom page header. I can do that. So now I have this. I can have a subtitle. This is my test page. As you can see, it will display up, and then I have a different variants of the same page header. I can do this fourth variant, which has a header image, which I can select here. Say I want to add this, or the fifth variant, which is the image on the right and then the text to the left. I will keep this fifth section, and now I can add whatever I want. I have a contact section. I can have the location, let's say New York, or I will just change the page to contact us. Here is our contact info, and here I can add some locations and say I will just add a test, I don't know, Manhattan office, and here I can add any secondary tags, which means numbers. This can be anything, any number that you want. It can be an email, or it can be a bold text, anything you want. Here I can add multiple locations that will be in different colors, as you can see. I can do now Chicago office, and I can add a bunch of text here, and then I can also enable the form. I will select the contact form, which will now work, and I can add a title, contact us through the, or send us a mail. And here we have the already filled contact form. So if I want to edit the contact form, I will have to go back and go to forms. And here is my contact form. And here I have the edit blueprint. Now, what is nice about Landtamic is, let me go to the test page. Okay, so if I want this to be displayed only 50%, I can do that from here, and it will only display 50%. So say I want to add this to 100% and then the name to 50, and then I want to add a new field of text for surname. I can do that. All these fields that are available on the form blueprint. Okay. All the fields that are available here, they are already pre-styled with Landtamic, so you can pick any field you like, even the assets field, and it will just work. Here I will just refresh now, and as you can see, I have name, surname, email, message, and the radio button. And then if I click send, of course, it's going to save it as an entry on Statamic. So this is all concerning the page building and the contact form. As if you want, of course, you can always view all the sets here and how they're meant to be used, but you can always just use whatever your design or requirements are. Now I want to touch a bit on the front-end part and go through the code a bit so I can explain what we have and where. So if you can see from here, for the front-end assets, we of course use Tailwind and Alpine.js. For Tailwind, you have the config here, and in the future we are gonna add maybe another config here with some different color schemes that you can try. Here we have some defaults. We have a centered container, as you can see, and we have all the colors here. if you want to change a color, is as simple as just changing this one here. But here on my terminal, I will have to install the assets first. I will do npm-i, which will install all the front-end assets that are available here on the package.json file. And now I will just do npm run def, so I can preview them first. If you do npm run watch, it will open a new window. So okay, now I'm on def, and I can click refresh, and now this is full black. If I do an inspect and go here, you can see this one actually is not using the black, it's using the gray, I think. Yes, it's using the gray, but whenever the color black is used, it will be changed to this. So if I wanted to change the gray that you saw, it's gray 900, and I want to do another one, I can go to online color picker. And let me add this one here. Okay, so say I wanted a bit darker gray. I can just take this, add it here, save, and click npm run def. This will compile the assets again. And if I go refresh, as you can see now, this is a lot darker than it used to be. So it automatically changed. This is the basics for Tailwind. Here we have some default plugins that are used for the form, typography, or the debug screens. The debug screens, as you can see down here, they're used to display on which screen size you're on. I'm now on LG. It can be MD or small screens. So so this is all regarding the color styles and the general theme. Then everything else is configured here on the resource folder views. So here we have a bunch of components. For example, we have a component for button. As you can see here, it's quite an advanced component. It has different sizes that you can all select from the backend. It has some different types, and it has a border if needed. But for now, on this Landtamic installation that I have here, it's using an old version of Landtamic. On the new one, I think you don't have the border, and you have only fewer types. So here, I have if a button has a link, it will be automatically an A tag, and if it doesn't, it will be a button. So here I have some default classes that you can always change. And then I have the picture component, which generates responsive images for every picture. We have a heading component, a lead, a link button, menu items, and so forth. We have components for almost most of the stuff. And then we have the pages, which is just a blocks and the custom page header. The other stuff is mostly used here on the sets. So every set that you see here on the front end is located here. Each variant has a number. So for example, if I go to head to hero sections, which is this one, and each hero section has a number which corresponds to the variant on the backend. So here is every hero section. And the widgets is actually the one that's used on the control panel. Then you have the home and the layout file. The layout file is pretty straightforward. You have the assets, you have Landtamic, you have a Favicons. You have the debug screens, and then you have the navigation, the template content, and the footer. So these are all located under layout. You have the footer, which is the dynamic footer that we use every time we change something on the backend. And then we have the navigation, which is also all dynamic, depending on your settings on the backend. And this is all regarding the front end. And here you also have some other stuff that you can edit, either from the partials that you can see here, favicons. You have the footer menu item, or you have the form. For example, this is the form that we use. You have the manifest file, which is used for the icons. You have the pagination, which is on the post. You have the sitemap. You have a social link, and you have this is the button used for the mobile menu. And that's all regarding the front end and all the assets and how they're published. Of course, after you're done and you want to publish this to production, you have to run npm run prod, which means it will run for production. This will compile and minify all the assets that are needed for production. And as you can see, the JavaScript file is just 64 kilobytes, and the Tailwind one is only 142, which is pretty small. All the images, if I inspect this one, they're all responsive. As you can see here, they use the picture tag. And you can, of course, always change something that you don't like or you have different requirements. Okay, so now I want to go through the process of installing a new font. So I will just go to our GitHub page and Landtamic. So here, if you go to the end for fonts, it says that we use font source. I will just click here and font previews. I will pick a new font for the website. Say I want to use Poppins. And here now I have to do yarn add, or in my case, npm install. So I will just do npm install this font source Poppins. This will install all the fonts for Poppins. After this is installed, I have to go to resources, JavaScript, and then site.js, and then just change all of these with Poppins. And that's it. So then I have to do, of course, and I have to change the tailwind.config. So now it's Poppins. And here I will just do npm run dev so we can preview the new font. As you will see now from the compiled, here we have now only Poppins. And if I go to Landtamic, and if I refresh, and now you have the font with Poppins, and it automatically gives the website a new look. This can be any font, and this is how easy it is to change something.